Hey, this is Brendan Dunn. I'm one of the co-founders of RightMessage, and I want to show you something that we're all super excited to unveil. So in exactly about 1 week, 2 days, we're going to be launching the brand new version of RightMessage. This includes all new onboarding, all new, entirely kind of refreshed segment editor, new website, new plans and pricing, everything. I want to give you this first run experience to give you an idea of what's coming. This is what you see in front of you is what happens after you sign up for a new account or create a new sub account. And I'm going to show you just how easy it is to get up and running with RightMessage on your website, segmenting your audience and personalizing content. So first things first, when you sign up, we're going to ask you what kind of business are we optimizing for. So in this example, I've set up brendandunn.com, which is kind of my now defunct consulting website. So I'm going to click services. So I'm going to optimize the services company. And what we're going to ask you first is choose a few questions that you want to ask people who visit your website. So we've put a few samples in. You can also create your own. So I'm going to ask people who come to my website what industry they're in. And I'll start with this. So retail, finance, hospitality, education. Maybe I want to add nonprofit and government. And I can, move these around. I can maybe move this up here. I can also change what it looks like. So let's make these buttons, green or something like that. So I can configure this widget immediately upon signing up. And I can choose, I want to ask this question. I also want to ask what role they have in their company. So owner, CEO, marketer, technical, research, or something like that. And I can also move these around. I can say, let's ask industry before company role. So already what I've done is I've now set up two different questions I want to ask people when they visit the website. And RightMessage is smart enough to know that if they've already answered one of these questions and they come back again, or they visit a different page, we're not going to ask them the same question again. All right, so I'm happy with this. This is a good start. I'm going to now come up with really 2 points of segmentation, industry and job role, to traffic visiting my website. I'm going to click save. Now it's going to ask us to integrate with an email service provider. Now, what's nice about this is the survey data I just set up, the questions and answers. Once I integrate with one of these providers, we're immediately going to push data that we collect up to our email service provider or CRM. So in this case, I'm going to say I use ConvertKit. It's going to ask me for an API key and secret. So let me grab that real quick. And what this is going to do is this is now going to connect me to ConvertKit. So now I'm connected to ConvertKit. And now what I've done is, again, I'm asking two questions of people as they visit my website. I'm finding out what industry somebody's in and what their job role is. And now I've also integrated my website two-directionally or bi-directionally with ConvertKit. So now when ConvertKit subscribers come to my website, I know who they are. I can find out how I asked them what industry they're in. And if so, I'm not going to ask them that again. But if I haven't, maybe I want to ask them that question and get that data put into my ConvertKit account. So that integration is now there. Now all that's left to do is to put the script tag that we've created for you on your website. So we have guides in our Learning Center about how to do this with all the major content management systems. So WordPress, Shopify, Squarespace, your own custom thing, Google Tag Manager, doesn't matter. As long as you can include a script, which 99.9% of content management systems let you do these days, you're good. So if you've ever put the Google Analytics tracking code or Facebook Pixel or something on your site, wherever you did that, that's where you're going to put the RightMessage script. All right, so I'm going to pretend that I've done this. I'm going to click done. And it's going to tell me, hey, put this script on the site. I obviously haven't done that yet. But we're going to be brought to the dashboard. So there's no data in here just yet for obvious reasons. But what's nice is over time, I'm going to start seeing right here the breakout of my audience. So what percentage of people are in retail, what percentage are marketers, and so on. And I'm going to get this data front and center on my RightMessage dashboard, along with data from RightBar and campaign data and so on once I create those. But this is going to be nice because this gives me this high-level bird's eye view of my audience. But also behind the scenes, RightMessage is talking in this case to ConvertKit and saying, hey, this person who we know, this is their email address, they just answered that they're in retail. Now we're going to go in, we're going to store data within ConvertKit saying that they're in retail. So how do we configure that? Let's say we want to modify the things I just set up during onboarding. Well, we have a brand new segmentation area. So in this area, you can configure your sales funnel, which we've set up based on a services company. And you can set up the different questions you ask people or the different behavioral segments like who referred this person to your website and so on, and get this two-directional sync in place with ConvertKit. And now it's easier than ever. So I want to show you how easy it is. So what we're doing here is this is the what we call the segment group for industry. So it's called what industry do you work in? You can see here's the display. And again, like when I was onboarding, I can rearrange, delete stuff, add things, whatever. But I can go right here and I can disable or enable this. It's enabled by default, but I could turn it off. I could randomize the order of the answers that people were asked. I can also choose to map it to a ConvertKit custom field. So in this case, business type. So what this is going to do now is these are the defaults that are in here, but I'm going to just say if they choose retail, this is what I want the value to go in as nonprofit, finance. So what this means is this is the data. This is actually the backend data that's going to be going into ConvertKit when they choose an answer. So if they choose government, it's going to set the custom field business type to government for that subscriber. And then finally, there's a way you can also set up auto segmentation rules. So let's say that a retail blog, so I'm going to say if the domain that refers somebody is retailwebsite.com, if they send me traffic, I'm going to automatically put them into the retail segment. I can also go in for nonprofit. Maybe we have a landing page called /nonprofit. If they come here first to this landing page, then I'm going to assume they're a nonprofit, and that way we're not going to ask that person what industry they work in. We're going to assume it's nonprofit. So again, you can behaviorally set up criteria that auto answer these questions, and if none of the behaviors match, then we're going to prompt this person with a widget asking them which industry in this case do they work in. So really, really super easy to do, really flexible and so on. We also set up, like I said, a stages of your funnel. This is again based on the fact that you're a service company. You can configure this in any way you want, but out of the box, we're going to do two things. We're going to create an anonymous and subscriber segment, but we're also going to create a lead and client segment for you. I guess four things. So the idea would be anonymous people are people who hit your website. They're not in your ConvertKit database. You have no idea who you are. Subscribers would be people in your ConvertKit database. So that's mapped to subscriber. Lead would be people who are project leads. So maybe we have a tag called, I would need a, let's say start a trial. Again, I don't have the right tag set in ConvertKit just yet, but in this case, if they had a tag, say project lead, or in this case, start a trial, then we're gonna put them in the lead segment. And likewise, client, let's say if they have a tag of, I think I have customer here, yep. So if they have the tag customer, they're gonna be in here. So what's nice about this is we're automatically gonna go down this funnel and say, we actually work bottom up. So in this case, are they a client? No. Are they a lead? Yes, they have this tag. Great, they're a lead. Are they a lead? No. Are they a subscriber? No. Are they anonymous? Yes. Put them in that segment. So this is a really nice way to map out a linear sales funnel, which most of us have. It doesn't matter if you're a software company or a consulting company, you have a sales funnel. And usually it starts with anonymous all the way up to your most premium customers. So again, it's super easy now to go in and set all this stuff up. And once I want to start personalizing, I can say, great, let's create a campaign that targets, let's say, industry. I'm going to call this tailored by industry. So again, I'm getting this data behaviorally and through the segment, the little pop-up widget that I have. So, my headline is pretty generic. Effortlessly sell your digital products, which could be courses, ebooks, membership sites, and so on. Well, retail is probably a bad example. I could say effortlessly sell your online products or your e-commerce products without big sales or something like that. So here I am now easily changing it. So the next time somebody comes over who is a retail company, they're going to see different headlines. So again, super, super easy to set this stuff up. What I really wanted to show you guys though was the brand new onboarding, which again, in like 4 minutes, I have a sales funnel in place. I also have 2 questions that I'm asking people who visit my website, and I've got the tracking snippet and everything ready to go. So we're really excited. Again, this brand new segment area, which I think is gorgeous. It's super flexible. It's super easy to use and configure. All of this is going to be live in about a week and a half. We're aiming for it to be, what would that be? The 14th, 16th, I believe, of October. So we'll keep you updated in terms of, keep an eye on your inbox in terms of the actual launch date and some of the things that we're going to be launching with. But yeah, if you're as excited about this as we are, sound off. We'd love to hear from you. This is already making waves in terms of the underlying technology, which is not that different, but the usability and how easy it is to set this stuff up, it's completely game changing.